Hi Year 9, hope you guys are well. Right, final lesson now of this remote learning drama series. This one is again on Blood Brothers question 6.2. Now, to be honest with you, question 6.1 is the one in the exam paper that I dislike the most. Well, the only one I dislike really, because it's a lighting and set and design question, and I am not a designer, so I'm a performer, so the rest of the questions are on performance and acting. So hopefully, like me, you will find these a little bit easier and really easy to get your head around. So question 6.2 really focuses on the acting in Blood Brothers. You will get given, just as a little look first of all, this is what the exam paper looks like. So if I go up here, this is what the exam paper looks like. You will get given an extract from Blood Brothers. So this one particular here is Mrs. Johnston and Edward. Now this is the scene where Eddie is just about to go away. His mum's about to take him away to go and live in the country, and he's saying goodbye to Mrs. Johnston. He thinks it's the last time he's going to see her. Now in the exam paper, this is all you get. You get one piece of the play. And in this particular scene here, as we looked at last lesson, this one is a costume design. You are designing a costume for Edward to wear in the performance of this extract. So you would have a look at the scene that you're in and think, oh, what could Edward be in that particular scene? The one we're going to look at today is question 6.2, this one here. So this particular question here is on the role of Edward, and they've picked out a line of dialogue. So through his tears, I don't want to go, I want to stay here where my friends are, where Mickey is. Now we're going to look on how you would answer a question like this in the exam. So, question 6.2. So, this is a question you could very well get in the exam. This one's on Linda. Obviously we looked at Linda in 6.1, we're looking at her costumes, we're looking at Linda again. So question 6.2, you are performing the role of Linda. You'll always get told what role you're performing in that, and you have to talk as if you are performing that particular role. So you're performing the role of Linda. Describe how you would use your vocal and physical skills to perform the line below and explain the effects you want to create. So the line you have been given was, leave him alone, will ya? Now your vocal and physical skills, they are all you have at your disposal. So when you're looking at physical skills, it's really important you know the ones that are on the sheet here. Now we do have an acronym to remember that, and we will tell you that in September, because it's a little bit interesting, shall we say. Some of my old GCSE students came up with it, so I wouldn't like to repeat it, but I'm sure if you ask around you'll be able to find it very quickly. So the acronym is pace, pitch, pause, tone, accent. So pace, pitch, pause. Pace, pitch, pause, tone, accent, gesture. They are all your vocal skills that you are going to look at. And then you've got your physical ones below. So gesture, posture, proxemics and facial expressions. That is what we're going to be looking at there. So then you're talking about your vocal and physical skills. They are all you have at your disposal to talk about. So this is how we do it. This is directly from the mark scheme. Some of you might find that really useful to look at, and some of you might not. So if you want to pause the slide here and have a read of that mark scheme, feel free to do so now. Again, this is another bit from the mark scheme. This is top band criteria. Now, I will always show you top band criteria. We're not going to aim for middle of the row. We always aim for the top, and every single one of you watching this can do this. Absolutely believe that and absolutely know that. So, top band criteria. An excellent description. In drama, you're not marked on your spelling, punctuation and grammar. You're not marked on how it's written. They're not looking for a top English student in drama. They're looking for a top drama student. They're looking for somebody who they can look at and go, I know this person knows exactly how to act this line out. It might not be punctuated correctly. It might not be written in the best way in the world. However, if you write all the information you need, you can still get 7 or 8 marks in the question. Okay, an excellent description just demonstrates excellent knowledge of how drama and theatre is performed and developed. Description of how vocal and physical skills that we be used is exact and precise. That is the bit that we need to look at, the precise detail throughout, and the intended effects are entirely appropriate. So this is the example now that was given from the exam board. So I'm going to read through it now, and you'll get an idea of how to answer this question. So Linda is absolutely obsessed with Mickey at this point in the play and worships everything that he does. She loves that he is a bit of a bad boy and gives cheek back to the teachers too. So that is your context, that is your little bit to tell the examiner, I know what happens in this scene, I know the characters and I know what they are like. I want to show the audience that Linda both wants to be just like Mickey, is cool and a rebel, and also that she's in love with him. I will use my physical and vocal skills to do this. So she's taught, the person writing this has given me a bit about their relationship there. So now we're coming on to the actual quote. When I say the line, I would stand up with force and push my chair backwards so it crashes to the ground. This will show that I am trying to be as cool as Mickey and a rebel to the teacher. I will then walk out from my place behind my desk and go and stand by Mickey and put my arm around his shoulder. This would show that I had solidarity with Mickey and I loved him a lot too. The audience would be able to see this. I would say the line as a shout and in a loud and accusing tone to show the teacher that I thought what I thought of them hassling Mickey. I would say this with my arms stretched out as I walked, as though I was ready for a fight and trying to take on the teacher. So there, this person has really put in our mind exactly what they're going to be doing at that moment. As I finished saying the line, I would push my chin out and try and be threatening. I would want the audience to be surprised that Linda would act this way. They would know that she's obsessed with Mickey, but this line could also show that she's trying to be like him too, so that she can get him to like her back. That there is an 8-mark answer. So this is a question worth 8 marks, and there's so much detail in there and it gives us such a good idea of what is going on in that scene. My only bit of criticism, which is probably why I probably would have given it 7 marks rather than 8, I would have liked more keywords in there. Now your keywords are your numbers 1 and 2 of your fact book, your pace, pitch, pause and your gesture, gait, body language. They're your keywords. I'd like to have more of them in there. So that would be my feedback to the exam board on their attempt. Okay, these are your keywords here. Now, I've given also examples of what the keywords are to give you a little bit more information. So pace, fast, slow, pitch is high and low, pause, and sometimes you pause to create comedy, to create tension. Your tone. Now, your tone is one that people get mixed up sometimes. You can have aggressive tone, you can have a happy tone, you can have a jovial, so that's joyful tone, a sarcastic tone. The accent, now does this indicate class? Now in Blood Brothers, have a watch of it on YouTube because it actually does. Both Mickey and Eddie are both Mrs. Johnston's sons. They are both born on the exact same day, but Mickey has this broad Liverpudlian accent and Edward doesn't, and it is how they were brought up, so it's that nature versus nurture argument there. Okay, gestures, the hand gestures during it. Posture is slouch, proud, upright posture. Energy emphasis is your movement around the stage. Your identification for a specific word. Facial expressions, so your eyebrows and lips. Now, quite often, if you are surprised, you'll have a raised eyebrow. If you're inquisitive, you might purse your lips together as well. Proxemics is your use of space. So your use of space, how close or far away you are from somebody. If you are quite close to somebody, that could be intimidating, it could show passion. If you're far away from somebody, that could show a distant relationship or a desire to want to get away. So they're all your keywords there that you would write about. Okay, this is the bit. This is the bit that you need to know. So if nothing else happens before you come back in September, know this. So you will know the context of the scene. So in this scene, this is what is happening at this time. How you would do that, how would you say the line? So for instance, in the scene with Linda, leave him alone, will you? In this scene, Mickey and Linda are in a secondary modern school and Mickey is being grilled by the teacher and being asked to get up and speak in front of everybody. Then you would say how you would say the line. So you would use your pace, pitch, pause, tone, accent, volume, gesture. Why you would do it in that way? Your absolutely key phrase is to show that. So when I say the line, leave him alone, Yulia, I will say it at a slow pace. I will say it at a slow pace to show that Linda is absolutely in love with Mickey and got his back all the time and really wants the teacher to understand every syllable of what she is saying as she means business. I would want the audience to realise this relationship was true and she was obsessed with him at this particular moment in the play. That is your intended audience impact. Remember that structure. Have that down. Know that. If nothing else, the structure and your keywords, that would be fantastic. If you came back knowing that, I'd be so, so, so pleased. Okay, so that is it. That's question 6.2. In the exam, you can be given any scene from Blood Brothers. So, what I would do if I was you, I would try and get hold of a copy of Blood Brothers. If not, watch the YouTube clip and choose any line, a random line from the performance. Then, for that line, try and answer a 6.2 question on it. So, let me go back to the 6.2 question. That is the 6.2 question. So, you're performing the role of Mrs. Johnston, Mrs. Lyons, Mr. Lyons, Mickey, Linda, Eddie. The bit after it will always be the same. Describe how you use your vocal and physical skills to perform the line below and the effects you want to create. That bit will always be the same. And then pick a line. And then just keep practicing them as much as you can. Send any examples to me and I will mark them with feedback and send them back. Alright. Looking forward to getting back in the studio and doing some practical. Literally cannot wait. So looking forward to meeting you all again, seeing how you work together. Really excited. Alright, so please don't worry if you didn't understand anything. It's okay. Trust me, we'll get through it together. Alright, thank you very much. Bye, take care.